Chapter 71, Breakthrough. In that moment, the chaos in the manor transformed into an unusual silence as shocked gazes continuously swept between the two figures at the scene. Wu She had lost. Furthermore, it was to a 15 or 16-year-old youngster. As they gazed at Wu She, who was lying on the ground while violently coughing out blood, it was a long time before they finally regained their wits, as everyone started to believe in this hard-to-accept and incredulous fact. Young Master Lin Dong is goddamn awesome. Qin Ying and the rest of the Lin family guards also let out a sigh. Soon after, they could not help but let out a little foul language. They had never thought that this kind of outcome would occur. They had long ago heard of Wu She's infamous name. Through the years, countless experts had died at his hand. However, this same man had just been defeated by Lin Dong. Gulp. Nearby, Lin Xia and the rest likewise swallowed. If Lin Dong had won their respect when he defeated Lei Li previously, this time, they would probably go fanatical over him. To defeat an infamous Heavenly Yuan stage expert at the age of 16, how was that even possible? If word of such a matter were to spread, not mentioning Qingyang town, Lin Dong's name would draw an uproar even in Yan City. Haha, good, good. Atop the manor wall, Lin Qian was in a daze for a good while before he abruptly burst out into a hearty laughter, completely unable to conceal how giddy with happiness he was. This scene had also astonished him so greatly that he had no words for it. Compared to the Lin Qian's ecstasy, Yan Kuo's face turned exceedingly ugly. Given Wu She's strength, Yan Kuo could never have expected that the former would actually lose to one of the younger generation in the Lin family. Under the gaze of the crowd, Lin Dong maintained the same hand-seal posture from before. It was a long time later before his face flushed red as he immediately spat out a mouthful of fresh blood. At the sight of blood spraying from Lin Dong's mouth, the Lin family guards were greatly alarmed. They intended to step forward but suddenly found a strong and violent suction force abruptly appearing from within Lin Dong's body. Who? The sudden appearance of this strong suction force caused the Yuan power between heaven and earth to rapidly gather around Lin Dong's body till that vigorous Yuan power actually took the form of a whirlpool of Yuan power that could be seen with the naked eye. The whirlpool spun around Lin Dong's body before finally pouring into his body through the opened channels. This scene caused many people to be astonished. Even Lin Qian, who was atop the manor walls, was likewise stunned. However, shortly after, he could sense that there was actually a trace of yang energy contained within the whirlpool of Yuan power that engulfed Lin Dong's body. As he sensed this, Lin Qian's face instantly flushed red. A hue of red that indicated that he was at the pinnacle of excitement. Yang energy entering the body. This is the sign of stepping into the Heavenly Yuan stage. His heart throbbed frantically in his chest. Lin Qian felt somewhat dizzy from the startling news that followed. He could never have imagined this. Not only did Lin Dong defeat Wu She, he also borrowed the help of this fierce battle to gain the chance of a breakthrough. If Lin Dong could successfully absorb the yang energy into his body, he would be able to truly advance to the Heavenly Yuan stage. At that time, their Lin family would have given birth to the youngest Heavenly Yuan expert in history. Qin Ying, bring everyone and protect Lin Dong. Flushed red, Lin Qian abruptly shouted. Lin Dong was currently in the process of making a breakthrough, thus he could not be disturbed. If anything happened to him at this point, Lin Qian was sure that when Lin Zhentian returned, he would go crazy with rage. Upon hearing Lin Qian's stern and urgent shout, Qin Ying and the rest quickly regained their wits. They exchanged a quick look with one another, and as if they suddenly thought of something, they could not help but start trembling on the spot. Admiration filled them as Lin Dong's figure was reflected in their eyes. Protect young Master Lin Dong. Numerous Lin family guards speedily formed a defensive perimeter around Lin Dong, surrounding him so tightly that even a drop of water could not trickle through. Whoever kills that brat will be promoted to become the third in command of the Black Dragon Stockade. At this time, Yan Kuo had also regained his calm. A trace of fear flashed across his eyes before he shouted out in anger. Even a terrible man like him who had the blood of countless people on his hands felt a little dread at the talent the Lin Dong had displayed. If someone like him was allowed to grow, it would be a nightmare for them. Yan Kuo's shout stunned the bandits from the Black Dragon Stockade. Though soon after, their eyes flared red. The path to such a bountiful reward would definitely be paved with deaths. However, people like them were originally desperate criminals who could be considered dead men. Attack! No one knew who shouted, but all the men of the Black Dragon Stockade straightaway charged towards the mass of Lin family guards who were protecting Lin Dong. Stop them! Qin Ying and the other leaders of the Lin family guards similarly wore ferocious looks on their faces. They led the men behind them as they obstructed the Black Dragon Stockade bandits. Yan Kuo, in the future, our Lin family is bound to hunt down every last member of your Black Dragon Stockade. Lin Ken icily remarked as his body flashed forward to block Yan Kuo, who had wanted to personally undertake the task of finishing Lin Dong off. Upon hearing these words, Yan Kuo's face involuntarily twitched. At this very moment, he felt somewhat regretful in his heart. If he had known earlier what a pain the Lin family would be, he would never have made a move on them. Humph, exterminating my Black Dragon Stockade? Let's see if you have what it takes. No matter how much regret there was in his heart, events had already unfolded. Yan Kuo was also considered a person of character. He instantly let go of the regret in his heart and sneered as he once again pushed forward to face off against Lin Ken. Ha! The battle royal in the manor reached its climax. A thick stench of blood filled the air as men on both sides killed till their eyes turned red with frenzy. Sabers and swords hacked into bodies, emitting rather ear-piercing sounds. Bang! Two earthly UN middle stage gang leaders of the Black Dragon Stockade joined hands as they pushed back Qin Ying with a punch, causing him to spit out a mouthful of blood while he retreated. They laughed maliciously as they turned their gazes towards the youngster who was standing in place without the slightest bit of movement. Stop them! Qin Ying wiped off the blood at the corner of his mouth as he quickly shouted out upon seeing the two make a beeline for Lin Dong. However, at this time, all of the men on both sides were stuck in a bloody tangle. How could they possibly spare any men to help? Haha, looks like it's our turn to take on the third-in-command role in the Black Dragon Stockade. The two gang leaders from the Black Dragon Stockade urgently pressed forward and appeared in front of Lin Dong. With the flick of their wrists, sharp daggers slipped out from their sleeves before fiercely thrusting towards Lin Dong's chest like a viper from its cave. However, just as the duo's daggers were mere centimeters from Lin Dong, the latter's tightly shut eyes suddenly opened. At the same time, the UN power whirlpool which was circling around his body violently scattered and heavily smashed against the two's bodies. Two figures fell backwards with a grunt, spurting blood from their mouths before finally falling back into the crowd. The wave of UN power that suddenly burst forth once again caused the chaotic scene to fall quiet. Immediately, gazes turned to look at Lin Dong, particularly to sense the vigorous energy that emanated from him as the expressions of the men on both sides changed dramatically. Is this heavenly UN stage? Lin Dong ignored their gazes and deeply sighed as he felt the vigorous UN power in his Dan Tian that had grown several times stronger compared to before. Unable to control himself, the corners of his mouth lifted to form a happy smile. This long-awaited day had finally arrived. Chapter 72, Pushing Back the Enemy. We did it! Atop the manor wall, Lin Ken looked at Lin Dong, whose strength had now increased by many-fold. Right now, a wild grin lit up his face. Compared to Lin Dong's delight, Yan Kuo's face was extremely ugly. He never expected that the originally favorable situation had now swiftly reversed itself. The one who caused all these changes was the youth from the Lin family. It's time to test out the strength of Heavenly UN stage. While Yan Kuo was still wearing an ugly expression on his face, Lin Dong, who had successfully broken through to Heavenly UN stage, lightly stretched his body as he glanced maliciously at the bandits from the Black Dragon Stockade. Upon seeing Lin Dong look over, the original fearsome-looking bandits immediately panicked as they hastily retreated. After all, they were keenly aware that they could not match up to a Heavenly UN stage practitioner. Bang! However, Lin Dong did not give them much time. he casually picked up a black steel rod from the floor as a powerful Yuan force exploded forth. Like a wolf running into a sheep pen, he dashed into the crowd of bandits, swinging his metal rod, causing woo sounds of the rod ripping through the air. Anyone who was hit by his rod was immediately blown back as they spat out mouthfuls of blood. At Lin Dong's display of prowess, the Lin family guards' morale were greatly boosted. They brandished their weapons as they leaped towards the bandits like a pack of jackals and wolves. With Lin Dong leading the charge, the bandits, who were previously on the winning side, immediately fell apart. As they faced the counter-attack from the Lin family, they steadily retreated, no longer as ferocious as before. After seeing his troops being steadily pushed back, Yan Kuo's face turned slightly ash-colored. He knew that today was a complete failure. While Yan Kuo was contemplating a retreat, a sharp whistle suddenly sounded out from nearby. Upon hearing this whistle, Yan Kuo's facial expression changed again. Without the slightest hesitation, he immediately jumped off the manor's wall and beat a hasty retreat. Retreat! After they heard Yan Kuo's command, the already devastated bandits immediately flooded towards the exit. Finally, after abandoning a huge pile of corpses, they hastily fled from the Steelwood Manor, their sorry figures desperately running back into the deep mountains. Upon seeing the bandits in complete disarray, the morale of the Lin family rose even higher. Just as some of them planned to chase down the bandits, Lin Ken waved his hand and commanded them to stop. The Black Dragon Stockade bandits hastily retreated as the chaotic Steelwood Manor gradually calmed down. However, the current manor was a mess. Fresh blood was splattered all over the ground while the thick stench of blood floated in the air. This time, the Black Dragon Stockade had brought along a huge army. Even though they were finally repelled, it was clear that the Lin family had also suffered some casualties. Although there were some casualties, it was an inevitable loss. Therefore, when the Black Dragon Stockade bandits were completely repelled, a thunderous cheer sounded out in the manor. Bravo! Young Master Lin Dong! Lin Dong smiled as he saw the fiery gazes of the Lin family members around him. His tensed nerves gradually began to relax. Only then did he feel pangs of sharp pain emitted from within his body. Though he used Wonder Gate Seal 3rd Chapter to defeat Wu Shat in their earlier engagement, Lin Dong's body had also experienced a huge impact. If he did not have the good fortune to break through at the right moment, he might have suffered just as badly as Wu Shat. Lin Dong, are you alright? Lin Xia and the rest of the younger generation members swiftly crowded around him as they stared at Lin Dong with fanatical gazes. Even the usually prideful Lin Hong was now filled with respect for Lin Dong. Their blood was still boiling from when they had previously witnessed how Lin Dong managed to single-handedly turn the tables around. Haha, alright. It's time to let Lin Dong take a good rest. Just as Lin Dong was being swarmed by the crowd, Lin Ken released a hearty laugh. He walked towards the crowd and looked at Lin Dong before forcefully patting his shoulders and exclaiming, "Well done, brat." Upon hearing these words, Lin Dong suddenly realized that he was at a loss for words. The Steelwood Manor was truly on the brink of a crisis today. If they had made a single misstep, it would not only have hurt the Lin family's strength tremendously, but also cause the Lin family to lose prestige and honor. However, at the most critical moment, Lin Dong gallantly stuck his neck forward and halted Wu Shat. Eventually, he even managed to break through to Heavenly Yuan stage, and completely devastate the Black Dragon Stockade bandits, thereby saving the Steelwood Manor. This time, it's all thanks to you. At Lin Ken's words, Lin Dong scratched his head humbly as he replied with a chuckle, "No need for such compliments, uncle. It's my duty after all. If the Lin family is in danger, how can I be expected to just stand by? Lest my father gives me a good beating when he returns." Haha, Lin Ken laughed as he shook his head. After he spoke a little longer with Lin Dong, he turned and gave instructions to start cleaning up the manor. Boom! When Lin Ken started ordering people to begin cleaning up the manor, the rumbling of horse hooves suddenly sounded out. Instantly, the facial expressions of everyone in the manor changed. After the previous intense battle, everyone was now on high alert. No need to worry, it's only reinforcements from Raging Blade Dojo. Lin Ken's gentle shout diffused the tense atmosphere in the manor. Then, he brought Lin Dong and the rest and walked out the manor's front gate. As expected, they saw some familiar figures dashing towards them. As the horses approached, Lin Dong also recognized the man leading the group. He was the head of Raging Blade Dojo, Luo Cheng. "Brother Lin Ken, how is the manor?" Once we got word, we immediately rushed over. When he saw Lin Ken and the rest walk out, Luo Cheng immediately heaved a sigh of relief as he asked. "Heh, thanks for your concern, Master Luo. This time, the Black Dragon Stockade decided to raid our manor, but thankfully we managed to repel them." Lin Ken smiled as he respectfully bowed. "Oh? So it was really the bandits from Black Dragon Stockade?" Upon hearing these words, Luo Cheng furrowed his eyebrows. Then, he asked, "So was it Yan Kuo or Wu Sha leading the troops?" Both of the leaders came by." Lin Ken replied with a bitter smile. Upon hearing these words, Luo Cheng was immediately taken aback. He knew that the current Steelwood Manor only had one Heavenly Yuan practitioner, Lin Ken. Did he manage to repel both Yan Kuo and Wu Sha on his own? After he saw Luo Cheng's astonished look, Lin Ken also vaguely guessed the former's thoughts. With a smile, he nonchalantly said, "I'm not that capable. I merely held down Yan Kuo. As for Wu Sha, he was defeated by Lin Dong." The news that Lin Dong had defeated Wu Sha could not be hidden. Thanks to Raging Blade Dojo's connections, they could easily find out what happened in the battle. Therefore, there was no need to hide it from them. Lin Dong. At these words, not only was Luo Cheng shocked, but several other attendants from the Raging Blade Dojo were also startled. A look of disbelief surfaced on their faces as they could not believe what they had just heard. After all, that Wu Sha was at Heavenly Yuan stage. Dazed, Luo Cheng immediately turned to look at Lin Dong. The former's eyes were extremely sharp and discerning. With a glance, he instantly noticed a difference and straight away gasped. Heavenly Yuan stage. Luo Cheng's hands, which was holding onto the reins, trembled. Moments later, he slowly said, "The Lin family is blessed." Luo Cheng thoroughly understood just how much potential a 16-year-old Heavenly Yuan stage practitioner had. Perhaps in a few years' time, the Lin family would have a Yuan Dan stage practitioner. At that time, they would be unparalleled in the whole Qingyang town. However, right now, even a man like Luo Cheng slightly rejoiced. After all, the Raging Blade Dojo and Lin family had rather close ties. If not, he would be just like the Lei and Xie families, worrying day and night. Chapter 73, An Enraged Lin Zhentian. Even though the situation with the Black Dragon Stockade has been resolved, Lin Ken still invited the Raging Blade Dojo members into the manor as a show of hospitality. However, because the current Steelwood Manor reeked of blood, it was unwise to stay for long. Therefore, Luo Cheng and the rest did not linger for too long. After a while, they took the initiative to say their farewells before taking off. Likewise, Lin Ken did not try to stop Luo Cheng and the rest as they left, personally escorting them to the front gate. Lin Ken thanked them once again before bidding them goodbye. After half a day of cleanup, the Steelwood Manor was no longer as distraught as before. However, the smell of blood still lingered. In this confrontation, the Lin family had also suffered several casualties. Thus, tying up the loose ends would not be easy. As the sun gradually set, a large caravan once again appeared on the main road. When the guards on the manor wall saw the familiar fleet, they immediately exclaimed in delight. "Haha, I never expected this trip to be so smooth sailing. It seems like the Black Dragon Stockade did not dare to make a move." At the front of the convoy, Lin Mang gazed at the manor that appeared in his line of sight and involuntarily chuckled as he said. To one side, Lin Xiao also smiled. Just as he was about to reply, his facial expression suddenly changed drastically. He had smelled the thick bloody smell lingering in the air. Something is wrong. When Lin Zhentian smelled the metallic tang of blood, he also reached the same conclusion. His aged face instantly turned incomparably ominous as he quickly whipped his horse and hurriedly dashed towards the Steelwood Manor. Black Dragon Stockade. If I do not personally wipe all of you off the face of this earth, I will no longer have any standing in this Qingyang town. Within the Steelwood Manor, some of the guards heard Lin Zhenqian's furious roar and involuntarily gulped in response. It seems like Lin Zhenqian was truly enraged this time. In the large hall, all the tables and furniture had already transformed to bits and pieces that littered the floor. Both Lin Mang and Lin Xiao's were black-faced as a vicious killing intent overflowed from their eyes. They finally understood why their trip had gone so smoothly. It was because the Black Dragon Stockade had directly attacked the manor. Father, we cannot treat this matter lightly. However, please calm down for now. After all, elder brother managed to successfully defend the manor, denying the Black Dragon Stockade the chance to wreck it. Lin Xiao took a deep breath as he advised in a low voice. Lin Zhenqian's chest violently rose up and down for a while before he slowly sat down as his anger slightly subsided. Indeed, it seems like they had managed to avert a huge disaster. Lin Ken, you have done very well this time. Upon hearing Lin Zhenqian's compliment, Lin Ken let out a bitter laugh. He abruptly pointed towards Lin Dong, who was sitting at a corner, and said, Father, this time round, the credit does not solely belong to me. If Lin Dong had not managed to defeat Wu Shat, I am afraid that our Steelwood Manor would have been doomed. Defeat Wu Shat. After hearing these words, Lin Zhenqian, Lin Xiao and the rest were all dazed, as if they could not understand what they had just heard. Father, congratulations! From now on, our Lin family will have another Heavenly Yuan stage expert. Lin Ken gently smiled as he continued. Silence, total silence. The tense atmosphere from before, that was brought about by Lin Zhenqian's anger, seemed to have frozen in place. The entire hall was in absolute silence. What, can you say that again? Lin Zhenqian had a ridiculous expression on his face as he stared at Lin Ken and muttered. Lin Dong has advanced to the Heavenly Yuan stage. As he gazed at the utter disbelief on the trio's faces, Lin Ken felt rather helpless as he repeated his words. SSS. In the large hall, the three of them simultaneously sucked in a breath of cold air. Then, 3 pairs of eyes were instantly glued onto Lin Dong. Promptly, Lin Zhenqian stood up and in a flash, he appeared in front of Lin Dong. With a wrinkled yet firm hand, he grabbed onto Lin Dong's wrist. As he grabbed Lin Dong's wrist, Lin Zhenqian could clearly feel traces of yang energy contained within Lin Dong's Yuan power. It was the defining mark of a Heavenly Yuan stage expert. Ha 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 ha, excellent! Excellent! An unrestrainable delight immediately exploded on Lin Zhenqian's wrinkled face. Eventually, he began to laugh maniacally. The previous gloomy mood that was caused by the Black Dragon Stockade incident had instantly turned light-hearted again. Father, is this true? Upon seeing Lin Zhenqian's reaction, Lin Xiao and Lin Mang asked in astonishment. It's indeed Heavenly Yuan stage. Lin Zhenqian suppressed the wild excitement in his heart as he solemnly nodded his head. Observing Lin Zhenqian and the rest's reactions, Lin Dong could only force a smile as he shook his head. Did they have to be so dramatic every time? TL note, LOLOLOLOL. To one side, Lin Ken chuckled as he related the events that had occurred today. When they heard how Lin Dong had managed to defeat Wu Sha while at Earthly Yuan later stage and even took the opportunity to make a breakthrough to Heavenly Yuan stage, Lin Zhenqian and the rest were faintly moved. Even though they had not witnessed the battle firsthand, they guessed that it must have been exceedingly thrilling. Lin Langqian of the Lin clan had advanced to Heavenly Yuan stage when he was 15 years old. Compared to Dong Er who managed to advance when he was 16 years old, Lin Dong definitely does not lose out by much to him. A world-class genius has finally emerged from my Lin family. After hearing Lin Zhenqian talk about the most famous person in the Lin clan, Lin Dong's eyes slightly narrowed as he slowly tightened his fist. That was the first person that he had hated ever since he was young, and he would never forget that name even if he died. You have just advanced to Heavenly Yuan stage, therefore your powers are not stable yet. During this period of time, you should avoid going out and instead stay in the manor while training. Lin Zhenqian said as he patted Lin Dong's shoulder. Yes. At these words, Lin Dong also nodded his head. Tomorrow, gather all the men. I will not let my Lin family members die in vain. Lin Zhentian smiled gently at Lin Dong before he turned around. Immediately, a cold and harsh look surfaced on his aged face. Father, the bandits from the Black Dragon Stockade are cunning and devious. After they were repelled by us today, they would surely have hidden themselves. Lin Xiao furrowed his eyebrows as he said. When they escaped today, I already secretly sent men to tail them. Lin Ken indifferently smiled. He had long anticipated that Lin Zhentian would never drop this matter, thus he had already made some preparations. Father, it is highly likely that a mastermind is behind this attack by the Black Dragon Stockade. Lin Xiao reasoned. Given the Lin family's strength, if the Black Dragon Stockade did not have someone's backing, they would not have dared to make their move against the Lin family. Lin Zhentian nodded his head. Seated on his chair, a fierce look surfaced on his face. In this whole Qingyan town, who else could have masterminded this attack besides the Lei and Xie families? Tomorrow, I will wipe the Black Dragon Stockade off the face of this earth. After enduring silently for so many years, it's time to let others know that our Lin family is not such a pushover. If anyone wants to mess around with us, they should be prepared to pay a hefty price. Chapter 74, Massacring the Black Dragon Stockade. The next day, when the sky was still shrouded in darkness, many men gathered in the Steelwood Manor. These men were dressed from head to toe in black, even the horses' hooves were bounded with layers of cloth. Everyone worked in an eerie silence as a faint icy cold murderous intent hung in the air. Lin Zhentian gazed at the assembled men as a cold glint flashed across his eyes. Without any needless words, he waved his hand, signaling the entire troop, as he, Lin Xiao and Lin Mang led the group out of the manor like a black tidal wave. Atop the manor walls, Lin Dong stood while he gazed at the Lin family troops, that were quickly fading away into the darkness of the early morning, and let out a soft sigh. This was the first time he had seen the Lin family muster such a large force. It was easy to imagine the shocked expressions the other factions in the vicinity would have, after they heard of the complete extermination of the Black Dragon Stockade. Looks like Lin Zhentian and his group no longer planned to continue enduring like before. The sky gradually brightened as the sun broke through the restraints of the horizon to once again shine its warm rays upon the vast lands and the endless seas. Quite a few of the Lin family younger generation members were crowded on the manor walls. Lin Dong sat on a stone block as he chatted with Qing Tan, Lin Xia and the rest. While they chatted, he noticed that Lin Xia and the rest constantly glanced towards the distance, with slight worry and concern in their eyes. Chuckles, don't worry. Although the Black Dragon Stockade is strong, this time, our Lin family has gathered all our forces and set out in full strength, and even grandfather has personally joined in. This can end in no other way for the Black Dragon Stockade. Lin Dong smiled as he consoled them. Upon hearing Lin Dong's comforting words, the expression on Lin Xia and the rest slightly brightened. Lin Hong and I should be able to break through to Earthly UN stage in 2 months' time. Though we cannot match up to you, at that time we will be able to help out. Lin Xia brushed away some of the fine black hair on her forehead, as she suddenly declared softly. Upon hearing these words, Lin Dong gently smiled in response. Due to the existence of the Yang Yuan stone mining lode, the amount of resources that Lin Xia, Lin Hong and the rest had access to, was far more bountiful than before. In fact, that they could even obtain Yang Yuan pills now. In the past, such a scenario would be a mere pipe dream. However, now that they were blessed with these plentiful resources, their training speed had likewise increased substantially. They're back! Lin Dong leaped off the stone block, and just as he was able to advise the crowd to get some rest first, his heart suddenly thumped. Feeling slightly elated, he lifted his head to gaze in a distance. At the fringe of his line of sight, the faint sound of galloping sounded out. After hearing Lin Dong's words, Lin Xia and the rest were also rather joyous as they hastily stood up. As expected, a huge group of men appeared at the limits of their sight. Finally, bringing the thundering of hooves, the group transformed into a powerful current that flooded into the opened gates of the manor. As these men charged into the Steelwood Manor, a slight bloody scent could also be smelled from their bodies. Evidently, they had just experienced a bloody battle. After they watched them return triumphantly, ear-shattering cheers erupted from within the manor. "Father, is the problem settled?" Lin Dong leaped down from the manor walls and asked Lin Xiao in a low voice. The former was able to see the dark red traces of blood on Lin Xiao's clothes. "Yes, from now onwards, the Black Dragon Stockade will cease to exist in this world." Lin Xiao wore an extremely excited expression as he beamed and patted Lin Dong's shoulders before pulling away a black cloth on one of the carts behind him, revealing the fully packed contents within, which comprised of gold and other items. These were taken from the Black Dragon Stockade. The bandits had a rather large collection indeed. If you find anything of interest, feel free to take it, Lin Xiao declared. Lin Dong's gaze somewhat curiously turned towards the cart. His hands flipped through the various items. Gold, silver and precious stones held no interest for him, thus his gaze only stopped at those items that appeared somewhat bizarre or strange. After searching through the pile for half a day, Lin Dong had yet to find anything of interest. Just as he could bear with it no longer and thought of giving up, a piece of black metal that was half the size of his head appeared within his line of sight. This piece of black metal was covered in dust, therefore it was very much inconspicuous. However, when Lin Dong first laid eyes on it, he could feel a slight undulation from the mental energy in his mind. "Heh, you have quite a good pair of eyes. This is a fragment of mysterious Yuan metal. It has a rather good Yuan power dispelling effect. If a bit of its fragments were mixed into weapons, then even a heavenly Yuan stage expert would not dare to be struck by the weapon directly. Else, he would be instantly reduced into a bloody pulp." Lin Xiao chuckled and explained when he saw Lin Dong's gaze stop at that piece of black metal. "Of course, what's even more special about this mysterious Yuan metal fragment is that it is able to help to strengthen and direct mental energy." "I see." Upon hearing Lin Xiao's words, Lin Dong finally understood. A trace of mental energy slowly drifted out from his mind and twisted around the piece of black metal before suddenly floating upwards a bit. At this scene, Lin Dong's eyes lit up as he stretched out his hand to grab the black metal piece, smiling, "Now this item belongs to me." Not long after Lin Zhentian and the rest returned to the Steelwood Manor, news of the Black Dragon Stockade extermination traveled through various channels before arriving at the ears of other factions. As Lin Dong expected, this matter caused some waves in the community. Although the Black Dragon Stockade bandits' strength was not considered top tier, with 2 heavenly Yuan stage experts, they were considered as one of the stronger factions. However, no one could have expected that even with that level of strength, they were still easily wiped out by the Lin family. This caused several factions to begin losing some of the contempt that they had before. Qingyang Town, Lei family. This Lin family, are they purposely flaunting their power to our Lei family? In a lavish room, Lei Bao sat in the head's chair as he held a teacup while sneering. "Father, it seems like Lin Zhentian might have deduced that our Lei family was the one that instigated the Black Dragon Stockade to raid the Steelwood Manor." Lei Pai frowned as he said. "So what if he knows? What can he do?" Lei Bao shook his head. Soon after, his eyes flashed as he continued, "The reason why the Lin family traveled to Yan City this time, was to sell Yang Yuan stones, right?" "Indeed, there must be a Yang Yuan stone mining lode in the Steelwood Manor. Or else the Lin family could never have procured so many Yang Yuan stones in such a short period of time," Lei Pai muttered in a low voice. Lei Bao slowly nodded his head, as a greedy and sinister light flickered in his eyes. "Oh, by the way, father, according to my sources, the reason why the attack by the Black Dragon Stockade on the Steelwood Manor failed, was because Lin Dong from the Lin family had advanced to Heavenly Yuan stage." Lei Pai slightly hesitated before he suddenly reported. "Lin Dong? That 16-year-old brat from the Lin family? How is that possible?" Upon hearing Lei Pai's words, Lei Bao was slightly dazed. However, soon after, he involuntarily asked in a hoarse voice. His voice had become much sharper because of shock. At this sight, Lei Pai also let out a bitter laugh. He did not want to believe it, but this was indeed the case. Lei Bao's aged face twitched violently before finally turning malevolent. In a deep voice, he said, "Lei Pai, find a chance to get rid of that brat. As for the Lin family, they will not be arrogant for long." "Father, are you going to break through soon?" After hearing Lei Bao's words, Lei Pai was first shocked, though an ecstatic expression subsequently surfaced on his face as he asked. "On the day when I successfully make a breakthrough, this Qingyang town would completely become our Lei family's domain." Lei Bao's sinister smile turned even creepier as he looked in the direction of the Steelwood Manor. Fuming with rage between gritted teeth, he muttered, "Lin Zhentian, I want your entire Lin family to become a pack of homeless stray dogs." Chapter 75, Shattering Yuan Shrapnel. Inside a wooden house, Lin Dong was seated down quietly with both of his eyes tightly shut. The air around him rippled, as streams of Yuan power were continuously synthesized from heaven and earth, before they were absorbed into his body through his skin. Currently, Lin Dong was fully concentrating on his Dan Tian. Now that he had stepped into heavenly Yuan stage, there were some noticeable changes happening in his Dan Tian. The original Yuan power in his body had taken on a deep blue hue because he had absorbed the Yin energy from Qing Tan's body. As such, his Yuan power contained a rich and vibrant Yin energy. However, now that he had advanced to heavenly Yuan stage, Lin Dong was finally able to absorb Yang energy from heaven and earth. Naturally, Yang energy had an entirely different attribute from Yin energy. One was bright and scorching, while the other was cold and icy. Therefore, when the two of them interacted with each, it was akin to water mixing with fire. They were completely incompatible. Right now, the Yuan power in Lin Dong's body was largely deep blue in color. Only a tiny portion appeared light red in color. Compared to the rest of the Yuan power, it seemed far too insignificant. Red and blue, interwoven in his Dan Tian, distinct like two immiscible liquids. Lin Dong could only helplessly shake his head as he observed the state of his Dan Tian. After all, the Yin energy in his Dan Tian was extremely powerful and potent, while the Yang energy that he absorbed recently was of the most ordinary grade. As such, it was clearly unable to contend against the potent Yin energy inside his Dan Tian. To reach heavenly Yuan late stage, I must balance the Yin and Yang energy in my body. Only then can I proceed to the next step of attempting to fuse them together, reaching the step of successfully synergizing Yin and Yang and then condensing them to form Dan. As this thought flashed across his mind, Lin Dong gradually opened his eyes, a pained smile on his face. It seems like there was a downside to absorbing such potent Yin energy. After all, even though he could directly obtain Yin energy from Qing Tan's body, but what about Yang energy? Where exactly can he find such a potent Yang energy that could counter the Yin energy from Qing Tan's body? In fact, the Yin pearls condensed from Qing Tan's body were considered grade 5 Yin energy. To make matters worse, Lin Dong had directly absorbed Yin energy from Qing Tan's body, thus the Yin energy he had absorbed was even more potent. This allowed Lin Dong, who was merely at earthly Yuan stage, to match up against a heavenly Yuan early stage practitioner like Wu Shat. However, now that he had reached heavenly Yuan stage, it also started to impede his progress. I must continue finding a way to obtain some special Yang energy. If I rely solely upon the Yang energy from heaven and earth, who knows how long it will take before I balance off the Yin energy in my body. Lin Dong sighed as he stood up. In this past half a month's time, he has been thinking about this problem daily. However, where can one obtain special Yang energy? Even Lin Zhentian and the rest absorbed normal Yang energy from heaven and earth. Therefore, though Lin Dong had racked his brains over this matter, he was still unable to come up with a solution. As he thought about this, Lin Dong helplessly shook his head. Promptly, he decided to temporarily suppress this thought. He lifted his palm as 10 black shadows instantly flew out from his sleeves before they unexpectedly stopped and suspended themselves in the air around him. On closer inspection, it turned out that these black shadows were actually 10 thumb-sided pitch-black shrapnel. They were about an inch long and had sharp jagged ends. Although they were small, one look would reveal that these tiny items were in fact deadly weapons. As these black shrapnel hovered around Lin Dong, if a symbol master was nearby, he could perhaps sense that these tiny shrapnel were being wrapped with a layer of mental energy. That was the reason why they were able to dance around in mid-air. Lin Dong gazed at these black spots around him, a prideful smile on his face. Ever since he mastered the spiritual movement chapter given to him by Master Ruo, his mental energy had gotten increasingly stronger. Furthermore, since these shrapnel were crafted from the shattering UN metal fragments, a victory spoil from Black Dragon Stockade, Lin Dong could control them rather smoothly and easily. Lin Dong had termed these shrapnel as shattering UN shrapnel. These items had a strong penetration effect and they would be perfect to defend oneself and conduct sneak attacks. Furthermore, since they were secretly being controlled by Lin Dong's mental energy, these shattering UN shrapnel would undoubtedly become one of Lin Dong's secret killing moves. Swoosh! As these shrapnel hovered around Lin Dong's body, Lin Dong suddenly extended his arm. Instantly, these 10 shrapnel swiftly flew together in a straight line before a successive clear toot-toot sound rang out. These shrapnel had hit and penetrated half an inch into a thick pillar. If this attack was directed towards a person, he would undoubtedly suffer. After witnessing this sight, Lin Dong nodded in satisfaction. With a wave of his arm, these shattering UN shrapnel immediately flew back into his sleeves and concealed themselves. Lin Dong then decided to push open the door and exit. Just as he opened the door, the sounds of a bustling atmosphere entered his ear. Streams of people were constantly entering and surfacing from the mining lode as they carried with them pieces of freshly harvested Yang Yuan stones. Young Master Lin Dong. When they saw Lin Dong emerge, regardless of status, everyone stopped as they respectfully greeted him. During this period of time, the news that Lin Dong had defeated Wu She had spread like wildfire. Everyone now knew that this secretive person was actually the most talented person in the entire Lin family. In response to their respectful greetings, Lin Dong smiled and politely nodded his head. Since he had advanced to Heavenly UN stage, he was able to take up some part of the responsibilities in the family. Therefore, Lin Zhentian decided to hand over operation of the Steelwood Manor's mining lode to him. Naturally, even though he was in charge, Lin Dong did not have to do much beside occasionally inspecting the amount of stones harvested. After all, the rest of the matters will be handled by experienced managers. Lin Dong stood on a boulder as he stared into the deep mining lode, before he gently nodded his head. Now that they had become more proficient at mining, the amount of stones harvested had multiplied by several times. The enormous profits they now enjoyed was like heaven and earth compared to before. After a casual inspection, Lin Dong decided to head back to the manor. However, just as this thought emerged in his head, he suddenly saw a commotion erupt at the exit of the mining lode. Instantly, his eyebrows furrowed as he instructed Qin Ying, who was nearby, "Uncle Qin Ying, could you go and take a look?" "Yes." Upon hearing his words, Qin Ying nodded his head as he swiftly rushed towards the mining lode's exit. Moments later, he quickly walked back. Young Master Lin Dong, when one worker was harvesting Yang Yuan stones, he seemed to have discovered something else. Qin Ying walked to Lin Dong's side as he softly said, "Oh? Let's check it out." Lin Dong was stunned for a moment before he promptly whistled. Little Flame, which was sunbathing on another boulder, immediately dashed over. After he saw that Lin Dong was planning to go into the mine personally, Qin Ying immediately waved his hands as a dozen elite guards immediately crowded over and followed Lin Dong into the mining hole. The current mining hole had grown very large and spacious as they had mined for half a year. However, because this used to be a volcano, there were many tunnels and tiny passages in these mountains. Therefore, even the experienced workers did not know exactly how many passages there were. With the head worker leading the way, they were able to swiftly traverse inside the mining hole. They followed the twisting passages and finally stopped after 10 minutes. At the end of this passage, was a tiny crevice that was barely big enough for one person to squeeze into. Based on the scratch marks on the walls, it seems like this passage was only recently excavated. That worker accidentally unearthed a tiny tunnel here. Out of curiosity, he decided to explore it. However, in the end, he got severely burnt instead. It seems like it is filled with an extremely hot substance. The head worker carefully said. Lin Dong gently nodded his head before he took 2 steps forward. With his eyes glued onto the crevice, he suddenly stretched out his hand before slowly reaching in. As his palm entered that crevice, Lin Dong suddenly felt as if his entire arm was boiling. A powerful and violent hot energy was flowing into his body through his skin, before it was eventually deposited into his dantian. Instantly, an exceptional burning sensation arose in his dantian. As he felt the changes occurring in his dantian, Lin Dong's eyes immediately lit up. Moments later, surprise surfaced in his eyes. That was because he realized that contained within that burning air was a special lava hot yang energy. Chapter 76, Mysterious Beast Bones. Yang energy. This discovery caused Lin Dong to be instantly taken back, however his eyebrows promptly furrowed. He had realized that this yang energy seemed extraordinarily berserk and savage. If one absorbed too much of this substance, it would wreak havoc on one's mind and body. This place used to be a volcano. Therefore, it is not strange that such a potent yang energy exists here. However, it's a pity. Naturally, it was a pity that there were berserk elements contained within the yang energy inside the crevice. After all, who would dare to absorb such a savage yang energy? As Lin Dong poked about at the crevice entrance, a disappointed expression surfaced on his face. After half a month of searching for this kind of special yang energy, he was very reluctant to give up so easily now that he had finally found such a unique yang energy. Uncle Qin Ying, stand guard here with everyone else. Do not let anyone enter. I will go in and have a look. Lin Dong tilted his head towards Qin Ying and said. Upon hearing that Lin Dong wanted to personally enter the crevice, Qin Ying was alarmed. He instinctively wanted to stop Lin Dong, however, once Qin Ying recalled that Lin Dong's strength had far surpassed him, he deliberated for a moment before he nodded his head. After giving out instructions, Lin Dong immediately entered into the crevice. A few steps later, he found that Little Flame had also followed behind him. Looks like it did not mind the scorching heat inside the area. At this situation, Lin Dong heaved a sigh of relief in his heart as he quickened his pace. 2 to 3 minutes later, the narrow passage suddenly became very spacious as a layer of blazing red filled his vision. What had appeared in front of Lin Dong was an area filled with blazing red-hot rocks. From a distance, the heat that was rising from the surface caused the surrounding air to become slightly distorted, making it seem like lava was flowing. Lin Dong's eyes carefully scanned this blazing red-hot rocky area. Suddenly, he stopped and concentrated on the central area only to find a pile of tens of feet high white beast bones. Such massive bones indicated that this was probably the largest beast that Lin Dong had ever encountered. Even though all that remained of the beast were its bones, Lin Dong could still sense an extraordinary pressure from these bones. One could only conclude that this was definitely not an ordinary demonic beast. However, how exactly the demonic beast turned to bones and was left here remained unknown. Just as Lin Dong was feeling puzzled, every hair on Little Flame, who was standing nearby, suddenly stood up. Immediately, it transformed into a red shadow as it dashed towards that pile of white beast bones. Upon witnessing this sight, Lin Dong's facial expression changed immediately. This area was too strange and he did not dare to venture too deep. However, he never expected that Little Flame would ignore him and actually dash in head first. This naughty creature! After cursing in a low voice, Lin Dong gritted his teeth as he quickly followed behind. As he stepped on the blazing red-hot rocks, he felt like he was stepping on burning charcoal. Immediately, he utilized the Yuan power in his body to protect his feet, only then was somewhat relieved. A human and a beast rapidly dashed across this blazing red-hot rocky area. Their pace finally slowing when they neared the beast bones. Next to the beast bones, Little Flame's originally grand and magnificent body now far paled in comparison. As it lifted its head to look at that mysterious carcass, suddenly, to the bewilderment of Lin Dong, it jumped up and climbed up the piles of bones. Within a few breaths, it swiftly reached the skull of that beast. What is that fellow trying to do? When he saw Little Flame's strange actions, a little confusion arose in Lin Dong's mind. Under Lin Dong's puzzled gaze, Little Flame lifted up its sharp tiger claws and immediately swiped down as it unceremoniously stomped on the skull that had already turned brittle with age. That giant skull fell as it broke apart to form a pile of debris on the ground. Little Flame then leapt down, and after rummaging for a moment, it abruptly used its large mouth to grab onto a fiery red object. Lin Dong's sharp eyes immediately caught sight of that fiery red object. Upon closer inspection, it was actually a fist-sized and perfectly round fiery red pearl. However, perhaps because of the heat, that fiery red pearl seemed to look a little like a tiny infant. Even though it was quite a distance away, the exceptionally astute Lin Dong sensed that the strange pill was particularly dangerous. Gulp! Under Lin Dong's vigilant glaze, Little Flame curled its tongue as it quickly swallowed that fiery red pearl. Growl! As that fiery red pearl entered its body, vigorous flames suddenly erupted from Little Flame's body, while its body also started to bulge little by little. Its deep growls caused the large cave to shake and shudder. Little Flame expanded at a terrifying rate before Lin Dong's eyes as he gulped and slowly moved back. However, this growth only lasted for a short while. Moments later, when Little Flame was nearly as large as a small tower, its body started to shrink again before it eventually returned to its original size. Little Flame! Upon seeing Little Flame return to its original size, Lin Dong heaved a sigh of relief in his heart before he cautiously called out. Growl! After it heard Lin Dong's call, Little Flame instantly lifted its head and swiftly ran to his side, rubbing its giant head against his body. As he realized that Little Flame did not go astray and turn violent, Lin Dong stealthily wiped off the cold sweat on his forehead. Only then could he carefully inspect the current Little Flame. Little Flame's originally fiery red fur had now become even more fiery and vibrant. It looked as if it was burning. Furthermore, its tiger paws now seemed exceptionally sharp as they penetrated deep into the ground. No one would doubt their killing ability now. Lin Dong carefully scanned Little Flame's body, before his gaze finally stopped at the python tail on Little Flame's behind. Currently, the unique python tail was perched on Little Flame's back. There seemed to be a small lump on the head of that python tail, as if something was about to burst out. Lin Dong was at a complete loss with regards to the changes that had occurred to Little Flame. After all, he never had much knowledge regarding demonic beasts. The only thing he knew now was that the changes occurring in Little Flame were related to that mysterious fiery red pearl that it just swallowed. Could that pearl be the demonic crystal belonging to that beast? Why is it different from other demonic crystals? Lin Dong muttered to himself. This place is weird, I should not stay for long. As this thought flashed across Lin Dong's mind, he decided to leave the area. Just as he was about to leave with Little Flame, it suddenly dashed towards a certain place as it released a series of deep growls. Upon witnessing this scene, Lin Dong was stunned as he turned to look, only to see that behind the beast bones, was an area filled with rocks that were condensed from molten lava. Right now, on top of these molten rocks, was a beautiful and seductive crimson-red flower that was surrounded by a faint mist. Gazing at that bewitching crimson-red flower, Lin Dong abruptly turned and looked at the bones, only to discover that the skull of that beast seemed to be directed towards that crimson-red flower. That mysterious demonic beast must have wanted to eat the crimson-red flower. This thought struck Lin Dong like a flash of lightning. Chapter 77, The Bewitching Flower. The crimson-red flower stood all alone atop a rock. In contrast with its dry and barren surroundings, its vibrant and lively demeanor made it look especially exotic. After taking one glance at that bewitching crimson-red flower, Lin Dong's instincts immediately warned him that the flower was hardly ordinary. Of course, this was an obvious conclusion. The fact that this flower was able to bloom in such a harsh and challenging environment clearly indicated that it was something special. While Little Flame slowly approached that pile of molten rocks, it periodically growled at that bewitching flower. However, in the end Little Flame did not dare to rush towards it. As Lin Dong stood below the steaming rocks, he looked hesitantly towards that bewitching flower. After a long deliberation, he finally gritted his teeth and climbed up the rocks. Buzz buzz. Upon contact with the rocks, Lin Dong's palm immediately released a sizzling sound. Streams of cold yin-yuan power from his dantian swiftly gushed out as they enveloped his body and protected him from being burnt by the heat. Lin Dong quickly climbed up that pile of giant rocks as he realized that there was a tiny black tunnel about the size of a head was at the top of the pile of giant rocks. The tunnel seemed to extend all the way down into the ground and an exceptional heat constantly erupted from it. Oh, so all the yang energy here originated from this deep hole. After witnessing this sight, Lin Dong finally realized this fact. Soon after, he turned to look at the bewitching flower that was situated nearby that dark tunnel. As if it could feel that someone was gazing at it, that bewitching flower suddenly started to sway lightly. The faint mist surrounding it floated off and stealthily wrapped around Lin Dong's body. When that mist surrounded Lin Dong's body, he suddenly felt his consciousness fade away as a sensation of extreme exhaustion emerged from his body. It was almost as if the life force within his body was being forcefully sucked away. While Lin Dong's consciousness gradually slipped away, that bewitching crimson-red flower seemed to become even more vibrant and alluring. As he faced this unexpected danger, Lin Dong's right hand violently shook. A powerful force was generated as the mysterious mist that was surrounding Lin Dong's head was forcibly dispersed. Just as that mist was forcibly dispersed, Lin Dong suddenly woke up. He stared at the crimson-red flower with a terrified look and without further ado, he immediately attempted to retreat. However, just as he was planning to leave this strange place, a mysterious suction force suddenly exploded from his right palm. Its target this time was actually that bewitching flower. Thanks to that violent suction force, the bewitching flower was forcibly uprooted and it directly flew towards his right palm under the astonished gaze of Lin Dong. Buzz! In the instant when that bewitching flower collided with Lin Dong's palm, streams of light shot out from his palm. Moments later, that bewitching flower was reduced to a blob of gooey crimson-red liquid. When that blob of crimson-red liquid emerged, the mental energy inside Lin Dong's mind suddenly began to undulate. That undulations directly caused Lin Dong's temple to become agitated. What is going on? Just as shock emerged in his heart, Lin Dong saw that the blob of gooey liquid had suddenly tunneled into his palm. Boom! As that blob of gooey liquid penetrated into Lin Dong's palm, he immediately heard an explosion go off in his head. He could no longer hear any sounds from his surroundings. All he could feel now was an exceptionally powerful and unique energy rapidly coursing through his body. Finally, like a wild beast, it forcefully broke into his mind. Ah! A painful scream abruptly rang out in the quiet cave as Lin Dong's body fell down from that giant boulder and frantically rolled around on the ground. Right now, his head felt like it was about to swell and explode. The extreme pain caused Lin Dong's entire face to turn extremely hideous and twisted. As Little Flame saw Lin Dong frantically rolling around on the floor, it released an anxious roar. However, it did not dare to approach Lin Dong at this moment. Its acute senses told it that an exceptionally powerful force was currently coursing through Lin Dong's body and this force was potent enough to kill. Painful screams constantly echoed about the mountain cave. Currently, veins had popped up all over Lin Dong's face as they wriggled like earthworms. He could clearly feel the mental energy within his mind rapidly fusing with that extremely powerful force. As the two forces harmonized, it was as if there was a catalyst that allowed his mental energy to grow extremely rapidly. While his mental energy strengthened at a great speed, that acute pain grew more and more intense. If this situation continued, Lin Dong's mind would definitely be forcefully blown apart by that rapidly growing mental energy. Under the threat of death, Lin Dong's mind became slightly clearer. His body continuously trembled as he forced himself to endure that unbearable pain while he desperately tried to come up with a solution. Thanks to his persistent personality that was forged into him since young, Lin Dong was able to endure this pain as he desperately thought of a plan to save himself. Anyone else would surely have long been driven insane by this pain. An insane glint flashed in Lin Dong's eyes as he suddenly recited a chant in his heart. Spirit is split into yin and yang. Spiritual movement begins with life. This chant was from Spiritual Movement chapter. The current Lin Dong was like a drowning man holding on to the last stalk of grass. Without thinking it over, he quickly recited the chants from the two other parts of Spiritual Movement chapter. The Spiritual Movement chapter that Master Ruo from Yan City had given to Lin Dong was split into 3 different parts. Over these few months, Lin Dong had successfully mastered the first part. However, with regards to the 2 remaining sections, he had made scant progress. However, at this moment, he found that the slow progress that he used to make had suddenly sped up. As he recited the chants, Lin Dong could vividly feel the violent mental energy within his mind gradually being tamed. Presently, Lin Dong's body had stopped trembling. He sat down on the floor and began to recite the Spiritual Movement chapter chants in his head. The formless yet powerful mental energy was now raging about inside Lin Dong's mind. In mere minutes, this powerful mental energy was quickly sucked dry as Lin Dong successfully mastered the remaining 2 parts of the Spiritual Movement chapter. If Master Ruo knew how Lin Dong had managed to master the second and third parts of Spiritual Movement chapter in a short few minutes, one could only imagine his expression. As Lin Dong successfully mastered the third part of Spiritual Movement chapter, he could sense that something seemed to have broken open up in his mind. Immediately, he could feel the mental energy within his mind begin to rapidly gush towards that location in the middle of his head. Nuan Palace has opened. As he became aware of this situation, Lin Dong was slightly taken aback. Based on his interpretation of Spiritual Movement chapter, he knew that one of the most important steps in training mental energy was opening Nuan Palace. It was said that there are 9 palaces in the head, corresponding to the 9 heavens. The palace in the middle was termed as Nuan Palace. This was the greenhouse for cultivating mental energy, akin to a dantian for Yuan power. Mental energy gushed into his Nuan Palace like a tidal wave, and when that last bit of mental energy finally entered, the aching sensation in his head instantly vanished, at which Lin Dong's tightly shut eyes also opened. As he opened his eyes, an uncontrollable whistling sound burst out from Lin Dong's mouth. Just as that whistle rang out, a powerful formless mental energy violently gushed out from Lin Dong's Nuan Palace. Boom! The enormous mountain cave immediately shook as a formless shock wave instantly emerged with Lin Dong at the epicenter. On the ground, layers of rock fragments were instantly blown away before they finally collided with the cave walls and caused the cave to tremble. Huff! Lin Dong hurriedly caught his breath as he lifted up his head to witness the damage that he had done. Shock filled his eyes. Chapter 78 – Sharp Increase in Mental Energy. Is this the power of mental energy? As he looked at the messy mountain cave, Lin Dong could not help but mutter to himself. A look of awe involuntarily surfaced in his eyes. The destructive potential of mental energy was able to rival that of a heavenly Yuan late-stage practitioner. What in the world is that damned flower? After he regained his wits, Lin Dong recalled the crazily painful sensation that he just went through as his face involuntarily paled. Right now, he could feel that his mental energy had strengthened by several times, and these changes were likely caused by that crimson-red flower. With regards to mental energy, Lin Dong could only be considered an amateur. However, he did not expect that the mental energy, that he was so inadequate in, had now become his greatest weapon. Even though he had never properly tested out the prowess of his mental energy, Lin Dong had a strange confidence that if he used mental energy to duel with others, he could probably match up even against heavenly Yuan late-stage experts. It seems to be easier to train mental energy compared to Yuan power. Lin Dong scratched his head. Although he only managed to master the final 2 parts of Spiritual Movement chapter thanks to a stroke of good fortune, he felt that even without the extraordinary circumstances today, he should be able to completely master them within half a year. This progress seemed much faster compared to training Yuan power. Of course, this was all Lin Dong's assumptions. If Master Ruo knew about them, he might just spit out a mouthful of blood. After all, when he first attempted to master the first 3 parts of Spiritual Movement chapter, it had taken him a few years. Who would dare to tell him that it was much easier to train mental energy compared to Yuan power? As he shook off the remaining ache in his head, Lin Dong climbed up from the ground. Suddenly, he turned to look at his right palm. The events that had just occurred was evidently started by the stone talisman embedded within his palm. However, though he could not explain it, he sensed that a significant portion of that mysterious energy condensed from that crimson-red flower was absorbed by the stone talisman. As such, the energy that he absorbed was merely a small portion from that crimson-red flower. Thankfully it was only a small portion. If he had absorbed the entire thing, Lin Dong believed that right now, his head would have exploded into a bloody mess. As his finger gently traced across his palm, Lin Dong's eyebrows gently furrowed. This stone talisman now seemed even more mysterious. One could only speculate about its history. Bam! While Lin Dong furrowed his eyebrows, he suddenly heard rocks falling from the entrance of the mountain cave. Soon after, a few figures swiftly dashed in. Once they saw Lin Dong in the mountain cave, they deeply heaved a sigh of relief. "Father, grandfather!" When he saw them, Lin Dong was taken aback. Promptly, he greeted them. Indeed, these people were Lin Zhenqian, Lin Xiao and the rest. "You cheeky brat! You really don't understand how profound and vast our world is. Is there any place you won't barge into?" Lin Zhenqian and the rest swiftly landed besides Lin Dong. After a vigilant glance at his surroundings, they began to chide him. In response, Lin Dong could only let out a hollow laugh. After they saw that Lin Dong was fine, Lin Zhenqian and the rest began to feel relieved. Only then did they finally have the mood to survey this mountain cave. Immediately, a look of awe surfaced in their faces. Such a rich yang energy! When Lin Zhenqian and the rest lightly sucked in a breath of scorching air, they were first delighted. Soon after, they began to frown. "It's such a pity. The yang energy here is too savage and it cannot be absorbed into one's body. If not, this will surely be an invaluable training ground." As they spoke, a disappointed look surfaced on Lin Zhenqian's face. The yang energy here was several times more potent compared to the ordinary yang energy from heaven and earth. If he could successfully absorb the yang energy here, perhaps he would be able to finally make a breakthrough after decades of stagnation. The current Lin Zhenqian was already at Heavenly Yuan late stage. If he advanced one more step, he would enter into Yuan Dan stage. This would be an earth-shattering event for the entire Lin family. Upon seeing Lin Zhenqian's disappointed expression, Lin Xiao and the rest softly sighed. If Lin Zhenqian could advance to Yuan Dan stage, then their Lin family would have a say in not just Qingyang town, but the entire Yan city. Furthermore, at that time, even if the Lei and Xie families allied together, they would pose little threat to the Lin family. Glancing at Lin Zhenqian and the rest as they lapsed into silence, Lin Dong's facial expression turned serious. He lightly twirled his right palm and a powerful suction force emerged from within as he immediately sucked in the surrounding yang energy into his palm. Lin Dong did not absorb the yang energy directly into his body. Instead, he first filtered it through the stone talisman. Now that his mental energy had become stronger, Lin Dong could gradually discern the powers of the mysterious stone talisman. For example, refining. "Dong Er, what are you doing?" As the yang energy surrounding them vibrated, Lin Xiao was immediately alerted. His facial expression abruptly changed as he shouted at Lin Dong. After they heard Lin Xiao's shout, Lin Zhenqian and the rest immediately regained their wits. When they saw that Lin Dong was actually absorbing the surrounding yang energy, their facial expressions also changed dramatically. "Father, what all of you want should be this type of yang energy." Under the dramatic gazes of the crowd, Lin Dong only gently smiled as he lifted up his right palm. A prominent light red mist was now floating on his palm. As they stared at that ball of mist on Lin Dong's palm, Lin Zhenqian and the rest were taken aback. They could sense that this ball of mist was the special yang energy that filled up this mountain cave. However, the violent elements inside that yang energy had completely disappeared. That is to say, the ball of yang energy could be directly absorbed into one's body. The few of them were dumbstruck as they witnessed this scene. Moments later, they recovered their wits. Immediately, Lin Zhentian grabbed onto Lin Dong, both his arms shaking in excitement as he asked, "Good grandson. How did you do it?" It was understandable that Lin Zhentian would become this emotional. After all, this matter directly influenced his chances of advancing to Yuan Dan stage. This was a vital matter for him and the entire Lin family. "Oh! After I absorbed the yang energy here into my body and circulate it around, all the violent elements will automatically disappear." Lin Dong was naturally not going to reveal the existence of the stone talisman. Therefore, he blinked his eyes as he innocently said. Upon hearing his reply, Lin Zhentian and the rest were stunned. "How is this possible? Father, could it be that Lin Dong has a special body characteristic? The ability to automatically filter off any harmful influences or substances?" Lin Xiao furrowed his eyebrows as he reasoned. Lin Zhentian's eyebrows tightly furrowed. After all, this explanation seemed too absurd. However, he could not think of any alternative explanations. Therefore, eventually, he could only nod his head in agreement. "Haha, father! Regardless of the reason, this is still good news," Lin Ken, who was standing nearby, said with a happy smile. "Grandfather, next time when you wish to train, I will first absorb the yang energy here and refine it in my body before I pass it to you. That way, you should be able to absorb them too." Lin Dong humbly scratched his head as he suggested. "Of course. Sure." At these words, Lin Zhentian was like an excited kid as he instinctively shouted out twice. After his shouts died out, he finally regained his wits as he awkwardly looked at Lin Xiao and the rest, who broke into laughter nearby. His previous dignified image was now completely shattered. Upon seeing Lin Xiao and the laughing, a smile surfaced in Lin Dong's heart. In his family, the person who could most rapidly break through to Yuan Dan stage was naturally Lin Zhentian. Furthermore, Lin Dong clearly knew that once their family had a Yuan Dan stage practitioner, it would lead to a complete upheaval. When that time arrives, their Lin family would no longer have to worry about the Lei and Xie families. Chapter 79, The Underground Bazaar. Atop a secluded cliff, Lin Dong was silently sat. The surroundings heaved and surged as streams of Yuan power constantly emerged before they finally poured into Lin Dong's body. Hovering in front of Lin Dong were 10 dark red Yang Yuan pills. Every half an hour, Lin Dong would open his mouth slightly as an elixir pill automatically entered his mouth. Each time an elixir pill entered into his body, it would cause a faint white steam to emerge from the top of Lin Dong's head. Contained with that steam was a mysterious fragrance. This quiet training lasted for a full 5 hours before Lin Dong's tightly shut eyes gradually began to open. A mouthful of white air flowed out through his throat and out from his nose. Instantly, an exceedingly deep sound echoed out from within his body. It was a sound produced by his internal organs and bones. Heavenly Yuan Middle Stage. After that sound emerged, Lin Dong could feel that the Yuan power within his body had suddenly become more vigorous. A smile emerged on the corner of his lips. It seems like after 2 months of training, he had finally advanced to Heavenly Yuan Middle Stage. This smooth progress did not surprise Lin Dong. After all, he had been working hard during these 2 months. In fact, he had used up to a dozen of Yang Yuan pills every day to boost his progress. Naturally, these Yang Yuan pills were all refined with the mysterious stone talisman. 10 Yang Yuan pills a day. If this were converted into Yang Yuan stones, it would be equivalent to 100 stones a day. This consumption was definitely more than extravagant. In fact, not even anyone in Qingyang town, or even the entire Yan city could afford such a luxurious amount of resources. Therefore, after such a luxurious treatment, if one was still unable to advance to Heavenly Yuan Middle Stage in 2 months, one's progress would be considered a little lackluster. Or at least, this was what Lin Dong believed. SHSSS. After Lin Dong finished his training, he stood up as he whistled towards the forest. Immediately, a red shadow dashed out like a lightning bolt. In these short 2 months, though Little Flame's body did not change much, a faint aura now exuded from its body. Right now, even Lin Xiao, who was a heavenly Yuan stage expert, could sense a trace of danger from it. According to Lin Zhentian, the current Little Flame could be considered as a true demonic beast. Lin Dong knew this rapid progress and changes were likely related to the fiery red pearl that it devoured. However, now that he found there was nothing else happening to Little Flame besides an accelerated growth rate, he let go off the worry in his heart. Lin Dong rubbed the comfortably warm fur on Little Flame before he immediately tapped the ground with the tip of his feet as his figure dashed down the mountain. His speed was astonishingly swift. If anyone was taking a close look, they would realize that Lin Dong's feet were actually half an inch off the surface. He was not running but rather floating. It was as if there was some mysterious object that carried him. The formless thing that carried him was naturally Lin Dong's mental energy. Ever since he absorbed that mysterious flower's energy 2 months ago, his mental energy had rose rapidly. The current him had discovered many other uses for mental energy, and he was gradually becoming more proficient at controlling it. Regardless, as Lin Dong did not have a mentor, he only knew the bare basics on how to utilize mental energy. Even though he clearly knew that if he could fully utilize this energy, it would surely be powerful force, but because he did not have a teacher right now, he could only rely on his own trial and error. This fact caused him some grief. A man and a beast rapidly dashed down the mountain peak before they entered the mining lode at the foot of the mountain. They traversed through the windy and curvy tunnels and moments later, they finally reached that peculiar place they had discovered 2 months back. Ever since Lin Dong had demonstrated that he could refine the yang energy found in this mountain cave, during the past 2 months, he would refine some yang energy and deposit it into Lin Zhentian's body every 3 days. As such, over this period of time, Lin Zhentian had completely shut himself off to train. Every time he received that pure and potent yang energy from Lin Dong, he would immediately shut himself off and concentrate on fully absorbing the yang energy before he finally emerged again. Then, he would once again receive, then shut himself off, and the cycle would repeat itself. When Lin Dong stepped into the cave, as expected, he found Lin Zhentian already seated on a rock. With a smile, he immediately jumped behind Lin Zhentian and seated himself. As Lin Dong's right palm faced the formless air, a suction force immediately exploded out and sucked in yang energy. Meanwhile, his left palm was directed on a pressure point on Lin Zhentian's back as he continuously deposited the refined yang energy into the latter's body. This process took a full hour. Huff! When he sensed the attraction force from Lin Zhentian's body decreasing, Lin Dong gently sighed. He was a little tired. After all, this was not a mean feat. If his mental energy had not increased greatly, he would probably be unable to accomplish this task. Dong Yar, it's been hard on you. Lin Zhentian slowly opened his eyes. Within both of his eyes, 2 different colors flowed, just like yin and yang energy, causing him to look especially strange. As he tilted his head, he softly sighed as he saw Lin Dong's lethargic face. Lin Dong gently smiled, before he promptly asked, "How long before Grandpa can make a breakthrough?" "Give me another 2 more months and I will try for a breakthrough." A light sparkled in Lin Zhentian's eyes as he replied in a deep voice. Lin Dong nodded his head. Lin Zhentian had stagnated at Heavenly Yuan late stage for decades. Now that he had absorbed so much pure yang energy, he would only need to wait for an opportune moment to finally break through. Qingyang Town, Bazaar. As Lin Dong leisurely walked on the crowded pavements, he casually glanced at the crowd of people who were coursing through the shops. Lin Dong was now forced to spend a large amount of his time with Lin Zhentian. Recently, the Steelwood Manor had been handed over to Lin Ken and Lin Mang to manage. On the other hand, Lin Xiao was now in charge of the rest of Lin family businesses in Qingyang Town. As for Lin Dong, now that he had advanced to Heavenly Yuan middle stage, he had decided to slow down his training regime. Therefore, he decided to tag along and help out. Of course, though he wanted to help out, there actually was nothing much that he could do. Soon, he had a lot of free time of his hands, and since he currently wanted to shop at the underground bazaar, he decided to use this time to do so. As he navigated his way through the familiar streets, Lin Dong removed a straw hat from his Qian Kun bag in order to shield his face before he finally walked into one of the larger underground bazaars nearby. Due to the fact that Lin Dong had come here several times to exchange elixirs, he was rather familiar with the area. As he walked along the dark alleys, this time, he did not stop at one of the transaction rooms along both sides of the street. Instead, he chose to walk towards the deepest section. When he reached, his vision instantly expanded as a pretty large underground bazaar appeared before his eyes. In this bazaar, there were several other people around. However, all of them were wearing straw hats, which made it impossible for others to discern their identities. Compared to the bazaar on the surface, there was definitely a need for secrecy in here. After all, most of the items sold here were of dubious origins. However, because of this reason, most of these items were of a much higher grade compared to those on the surface. As Lin Dong walked through his bazaar, he continuously looked at the goods being displayed at the stalls. Though there were several elixirs being sold, most of them did not exceed grade 3. Right now, grade 3 and below elixirs brought little benefit to Lin Dong. Although the potency of elixirs above grade exceeded that of Yang Yuan pills, they were exceedingly rare. Therefore, the purpose of Lin Dong's trip this time was to see if he could find a few stocks of grade 4 elixirs. While he walked, he saw several grade 3 elixirs. However, he had yet to see a single stock of grade 4 elixir. Yet, Lin Dong was not worried. After all, this bazaar was fairly large, and even though grade 4 elixirs were rare, they were not impossible to find. With these thoughts in mind, Lin Dong gradually traveled deeper into the bazaar. Finally, his footsteps stopped as his eyes turned towards a stall beside him. At this moment, there were various items being displayed on that stone platform. However, Lin Dong's eyes immediately locked onto a dried, wooden green rhizome right in the middle. Greenwood Rhizome Elixir, Grade 4 Elixir. Now that he had finally encountered a Grade 4 elixir, Lin Dong heaved a sigh of relief in his heart. He took a step forward, and just as he was about to grab that Grade 4 elixir, the mental energy residing in his Niwan Palace suddenly vibrated slightly. Even though this vibration was extremely light, Lin Dong still managed to detect it. His eyebrows lifted on the spot as he looked casually at the area where his palm had just drifted across. Finally, his eyes stopped at a piece of old wood that was covered by green moss. Chapter 80, Ambush. Though the old wood was covered in moss, Lin Dong was able to see faint traces of some indistinct mystical symbols. Only then did he realize that these mystical symbols were probably the reason why his mental energy had vibrated. Lin Dong's eyes only lingered for a moment on the old wood before he hastily withdrew his gaze. He pointed at the Grade 4 Greenwood Rhizome elixir as he looked at the person dressed in black behind the counter and asked, "How much?" At these words, the person in black, who was also wearing a straw hat, lifted the end of the hat slightly as his toneless voice replied, 100 Yang Yuan stones. Isn't that slightly too much? Lin Dong raised his eyebrow and retorted. In response, the person in black spread out his hands, refusing to speak another word. That direct and efficient action caused Lin Dong to be somewhat speechless. Did the merchants down here all have such great personalities? What is this? Lin Dong pointed at the moss-covered old wood and casually inquired. Not sure. The person in black replied in an indifferent manner. Upon seeing that the seller was so frank about it, Lin Dong chuckled and continued, "This thing plus the Greenwood Rhizome elixir for 100 Yang Yuan stones, how does that sound?" 150 pieces. 50 Yang Yuan stones for an object you know nothing about. Lin Dong's eyebrows furrowed as he questioned. If I knew what it was, then it would not be sold for 50 Yang Yuan stones. From the indistinct mystical symbols on it, it should be an item that is related to symbol masters. If it were not for the fact that there are no symbol masters in this Qingyang town, I would never have taken this out to be sold. The person dressed in black robes lazily said, "If you want it, buy it. If you don't, I won't force you." Lin Dong was once again speechless. He had originally thought that he could take advantage of this situation. Never did he expect that these sellers were cunning as rats. After standing before the booth for a while, Lin Dong could only sigh helplessly. He retrieved 15 Yang Yuan pills from his Qian Kun bag and tossed them towards the person in black. Heh, you have flair. In one swift motion, the person in black received the 15 Yang Yuan pills, pleasant surprise in his voice as he smiled and said. In response, Lin Dong rolled his eyes. Without bothering to be polite, he grabbed the green wood rhizome elixir and the old wood, and stuffed them into the Qian Kun bag. Then, he turned and left. During the remaining time, Lin Dong strolled around the underground bazaar a few times, yet he only managed to find merely one more grade 4 elixir. After which, he had no choice but to give up and exit the underground bazaar. Once he left the bazaar, Lin Dong still cautiously strolled about the streets. When no one was around, he then took off his straw hat in a secluded corner. Soon after, he patted his Qian Kun bag while he walked towards the inner part of the bazaar. Lin Dong walked slowly past several streets as the surrounding buzz of the crowd unknowingly grew softer. Lin Dong's figure once again passed another street when his footsteps abruptly came to a stop. The bored look on his face also slowly dissipated. This was because he had found that there was not a soul in sight on this street. The bazaar was still the most crowded and popular place in Qingyang town. How could one of its streets be so empty? Furthermore, he clearly remembered that this street was rather busy in the past. Swoosh! In the instant when Lin Dong's footsteps stopped, an exceptionally piercing sonic boom rang out. A sharp arrow burst out from one of the buildings like a flash of lightning. From a tricky angle, it arced towards Lin Dong's back with the intent of doing him harm. That sudden sneak attack caused Lin Dong's facial expression to change slightly as he frantically turned his head only to find the arrow was already approaching him and he had nowhere to dodge. At that critical moment, Lin Dong did not lose his composure. His mind nudged as a stream of mental energy immediately gushed out from his Niwan palace. Buzz! The arrow was magically halted in mid-air, just half an inch away from Lin Dong. A fragrant smell could be faintly discerned from the tip of the arrow. Evidently, it had been smeared with a lethal poison and if Lin Dong had been hit by it, he would have died instantly. Someone is trying to murder me. As that thought flashed across his mind, Lin Dong immediately retreated as the arrow hovering in front of him fell to the ground. While Lin Dong was retreating, suddenly, sonic booms sounded out in his surroundings as a torrent of arrows viciously rained down on him. With a serious expression on his face, a vigorous Yuan power undulated around Lin Dong. He slowly extended his mental energy and was able to discern the trajectories of all the arrows before he deftly dodged all of them. Swoosh! The arrows slammed heavily into the floor and penetrated half a finger's length into the ground. Meanwhile, the tail of the arrow shook vigorously as it released a buzzing sound. Swoosh! As Lin Dong attempted to retreat, a cold glint emerged in his eyes. Promptly, he lifted his arm up, as 10 black shadows immediately flew out from his sleeves and were directed towards the roof of the buildings surrounding him. Instantly, a series of low groans sounded out as 10 men wielding bows tumbled down from the roof. Men from the Lei family. When he saw the garments on these people, Lin Dong's facial expression changed slightly. He never expected that the Lei family would act so despicably. Clap! Just as Lin Dong's expression turned icy cold, a clapping sound was heard. Lin Dong turned his head, only to see 2 men smiling at him from a short distance away. Lei Pai! When Lin Dong saw the middle-aged man on the left, his eyebrows furrowed. Naturally, he knew that this was a man who held a pretty high status in the Lei family. However, he never expected that this person would personally lead this mission. As for the man beside him, he was evidently an expert from Lin family. Based on Lin Dong's instincts, it seemed like both of them were at least heavenly Yuan middle stage. Haha, you are indeed the Lin family's genius. In just mere seconds, you have killed 10 good men from my Lei family. No wonder father wants you dead. As Lin Dong furrowed his eyebrows, Lei Pai smiled in return. However, contained within his smile, was a dark and murderous intent. It seems like Lin Dong's lightning-fast counter had far exceeded Lei Pai's expectations. Hehe, The Lei family is truly shameless. In order to deal with a younger generation member, you actually deployed such a massive force. If news of this matter spreads, your Lei family will definitely lose all of its reputation. Lin Dong chuckled. Well, you don't have to worry about it. News of today's events will never spread. Lei Pai waved his hand, an apathetic look on his face. So the Lei family really intends to go to war with the Lin family. Lin Dong's eyes looked equally dark. The Lei family's actions clearly demonstrated that they intended to battle with the Lin family. In 2 months, the Lin family will become a pack of homeless dogs. At that time, Lin Zhentian and the rest will be accompanying you. Lei Pai said with a menacing smile as his mouth cracked open and revealed his pearly white teeth. However, before that happens, I will first take care of you. Huff. Lin Dong took in a deep breath before he gradually exhaled. On his slightly childish face, an awe-inspiring look surfaced as he immediately stamped his soul on the ground and charged towards Lei Pai and his partner. I am afraid that with just the two of you, you do not have the qualifications to kill me. Chapter 81, Reversal. That arrogant brat. After seeing that Lin Dong had actually taken the initiative to charge forward, a sneer appeared on Lei Pai's face. Although Lin Dong had formerly defeated Wu Shat, that kind of situation would clearly never happen to him. Lei Pai took a step forward as a strong Yuan power gushed out from within his body. A sinister glint flashed across his eyes, before his fist punched out. The power behind it was so tremendous that a low sonic boom could be heard. A genuine killing blow right from the start. Lei Pai evidently planned to dispatch Lin Dong in the quickest way possible. The terrifying fist rapidly grew bigger before Lin Dong's eyes. However, in the blink of an eye, his palm suddenly extended and with a chi-lu sound, the palm slipped past Lei Pai's fist and grabbed his wrist. With a firm pull, the force actually managed to cause Lei Pai's body to be pulled forward. In the instant when Lei Pai's body was jerked forward, an ominous glint flitted across Lin Dong's eyes. His knee abruptly thrust upwards, fiercely smashing towards Lei Pai's neck. A rather ruthless attack. Lin Dong's attack was so quick and violent that even Lei Pai himself momentarily panicked. However, he instantly regained his wits as his hands hastily slapped at Lin Dong's knee. Thump! Both of Lei Pai's palms heavily slapped against Lin Dong's knee and a sharp pain immediately transmitted from his hands. Lei Pai felt as if he had slapped a piece of metal. However, he had also borrowed the resulting force to stabilize his body, and from there, his leg furiously lashed at Lin Dong's head. Lin Dong had a calm expression on his face as Yuan power burst out from his fist before it heavily clashed with Lei Pai's soul. Boom! Fist and foot made contact as a powerful shock wave blasted outwards. Lin Dong's shoulder was violently jolted back while Lei Pai staggered back a few steps. Soon after, shock appeared on his face, Heavenly Yuan stage. Unperturbed, Lin Dong calmly gazed at Lei Pai's shock-twisted face, yet the former felt a little regret in his heart. If Lin Dong had been just that tiny bit faster earlier, he would have been able to snap Lei Pai's neck before he could adopt a defensive measure. Lei Xing, attack together and kill him. Lei Pai gazed at the youngster before him, horrified. It was as if his mind had been completely flipped over and he now found himself in a perilous situation. Although he had long heard the news the Black Dragon Stockade's Wu Sha's defeat by Lin Dong's hand, Lei Pai had always believed it was because Lin Dong had some assistance. Lei Pai could never have imagined that Lin Dong had also reached Heavenly Yuan stage. After all, a 16 or 17-year-old Heavenly Yuan stage practitioner was indeed terrifying. As his thoughts churned and flipped in his head, Lei Pai let out a ferocious shout. The more strength Lin Dong displayed, the more intense the killing intent in Lei Pai's heart. If he let Lin Dong continue to grow for a few more years, who would be able to stand up to him among the Lei family? The somewhat tall and sturdy man, that was standing to nearby, nodded his head, with a dark expression on his face. He clenched both his fists as a vigorous Yuan power throbbed around his body, emitting a buzzing sound. Bang! The duo almost simultaneously rushed forward, one on the left, while the other on the right, as they surrounded Lin Dong in a perfect pincer angle. Faced with two famous and highly experienced Heavenly Yuan stage experts, Lin Dong's expression turned into one of extreme concentration. 10 steps was covered in the twinkle of an eye, as Lei Pai's and Lei Xing's ruthless offensive surrounded Lin Dong in an instant. Bang! Lin Dong's face stretched taut. Joining his two fingers together, a vigorous Yuan power quickly gathering around them. Each time he thrust out his fingers, the force generated was enough to forcefully blow back any of their attacks. Right now, since Lin Dong was at Heavenly Yuan middle stage, if he were to fight individually with either of them, he would definitely outclass them. 3 shadows intertwined together, like a hurricane. As their Yuan power collided, a series of deep echoes continuously rang out. Just as the battle between the three of them intensified, the facial expressions on Lei Pai and Lei Xing gradually turned uglier. Lin Dong's ability and real-life combat experience was causing immense trouble for them. Most importantly, Lin Dong seemed to have mastered a few extremely powerful martial arts. As such, each time he formed hand seals, the two of them were forced to retreat temporarily. Lei Xing. Lei Pai's expression turned increasingly dark. Out of the blue, he suddenly shouted out as an extremely bright Yuan power flashed on his right fist. Instantly, this light condensed into a lightning ball. The undulating energy within potent enough to cause one's scalp to turn numb. Dashing lightning. This was a level 4 martial arts from the Lei family. Lin Dong had seen Lei Li display this martial before when they clashed during the Qingyang town hunt. It was extremely powerful indeed. Just as Lei Pai executed his dashing lightning, an extremely bright glow also exploded on Lei Xing's fist. Instantly, both of them viciously directed their fists, like 2 lightning bolts, towards Lin Dong's head. In that instance, even Lin Dong felt a strong sense of danger in his heart. With a glint in his eyes, he stopped moving temporarily as he suddenly turned his head. Immediately, a bolt of mental energy was viciously directed towards Lei Xing's mind. That sudden mental energy attack caused Lei Xing, who was totally unprepared, to experience an extreme pain in his head. The strength of his attack instantly decreased. Just as Lei Xing panicked, Lin Dong's body nimbly reached into his sleeves. Using another bolt of mental energy, a black shadow swiftly dashed out. With a swoosh sound, it viciously struck the back of Lei Xing's head. This sudden development happened in a lightning-fast second. Lin Dong, who was originally in grave danger, had instantly defused the situation and even managed to assassinate Lei Xing using an unusual method. Lei Xing. As he saw a bloody foam spouting out from the corners of Lei Xing's mouth, Lei Pai's pupils dilated and his face turned hideously frightful. Immediately, he viciously directed that lightning ball in his hand towards Lin Dong's back. Buzz! However, moments before that lightning ball could penetrate Lin Dong's body, a powerful formless energy suddenly emerged and forcefully halted Lei Pai's attack. After utilizing mental energy to block the attack, Lin Dong's palm curled as he recalled the shattered Yuan shrapnel stuck on Lei Xing's head and retreated a dozen steps. He then summoned the rest of his shattered Yuan shrapnel to return to his sleeves with a wave of his hand. After he finished, he turned his icy gaze at Lei Xing, who was now lying lifelessly on the floor, and Lei Pai, who wore a hideous expression on his face. "You've killed Lei Xing." Lei Pai's face violently twitched as he stared at Lei Xing's lifeless eyes. Even though he was extremely enraged, he felt a chilling sensation in his heart. Even with the two of them together, they were unable to swiftly dispose of Lin Dong. In fact, he even found an opening to kill one of them. This feat was something that even a Heavenly Yuan late-stage expert would find difficult to do. However, Lin Dong managed to accomplish it. Lin Dong wore a casual expression on his face. As he grabbed onto a piece of shattered Yuan shrapnel, his palms trembled slightly. This was the first time that he had killed another person. However, it seems like he did not have much of a phobia towards it. "The next one will be you." Lin Dong slowly lifted up the shattered Yuan shrapnel in his hand. Though his voice was slightly coarse, his tone caused a chill to be felt in the depths of one's bones.